Oh, Khris Middleton, you were not supposed to be on this list, and then you just wanted to drop 40 in the goddamn playoffs, didn't you? That's alright, I'll accommodate, I'll make room. We are listing 100 goddamn players, so there is some space. Middleton this year found himself in a very similar spot that he was in last year, still rehabbing injured. Far from the all-star wing we had grown to know him as, but still capable of showing enough spark to make it impossible to fully write off an all-out comeback. Matter of fact, his scoring numbers from last year to this year went from 15.1 to 15.1. He literally had the same exact year. And then, just like last year, Mr. Mediocre turns into Michael Jeffrey the moment the word playoffs gets painted onto the hardwood, practically ensuring the fact that this guy can absolutely bounce back and become Giannis' second-hand man the way he had been in the years prior to the last two. Only difference is this year we got a couple more sparks to get more enthusiastic about, and that postseason play was just ridiculous. But let's kick things off in the regular season, where Middleton enjoyed a really strong December and January. I can still remember with fine detail that Christmas Day outing he had against my beloved Knicks. It was a nail-bitingly close back-and-forth battle where Middleton was just effortlessly getting to his spots and hitting nothing but nylon the moment the rock was released. And he was scoring in the low 20s pretty regularly come the midpoint and back half of this season. Fuck, I'm allergic to players busting my team's ass. Watching Middleton play, he's still really doing the same things prime Middleton did, just getting you like 6 or 7-ish less points while doing. Matter of fact, the guy ranked 7th in mid-range jumpers made per game this year, while shooting at least 7% better than the 6 other volume mid-range shooters ahead of him on that list, and that group of guys includes guys like Kevin Durant, DeMar DeRozan, Devin Booker, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, really elite, pristine mid-range shooters. Maybe this year's middle-of-the-road statistical output was more so a product of integrating Damian Lillard into the system, because he is still a sick shooter and smooth bucket getter. Maybe there's now just less of a demand for what he provides in Milwaukee's system. With that thought in mind, there was certainly a demand for bucket getting come the tail end of Milwaukee's round 1 postseason matchup against the Pacers. Giannis had gone down. That's an MVP, dude. Dame had gone down. He had given Indiana 30 in a goddamn first half. So who's gonna step up now? Well, in game 3, Khris Middleton made the answer to this question beyond clear. He hit the Pacers with 42 points, 10 boards, and 5 assists. God damn, bro. All of a sudden, Milwaukee needed someone to huck up 29 shots, and the guy barely eclipsing 11 shot attempts per game raised his hand and said, "Just sit back and watch, man. We're gonna lose this game, okay? But you're going into a war led by 2024 Christopher Middleton, okay? This is the best I can do." And you know what? Valiant effort, right? And this wasn't any old 42-point playoff night, as if any old 42-point playoff nights even exist, but this 40-piece capped itself off with a 30-foot bomb to send this game to overtime, and then an arguably even tougher 3-point shot to tie this game up with 6 seconds left in an overtime period that he was single-handedly responsible for in the first place. It was timely bucket after timely bucket for this dude. When we're talking about probably the 10 best single player performances from this year's playoffs, I do think this is a game that has to be mentioned among that group. Also, yeah, new shirt, new day, continuity be damned, I had more to say. I have no clue how there really wasn't more of a fuss made about this performance, just given how unexpected it was. And this was by far the peak of his play this postseason, but he remained a confident leader for this team all throughout, ending his 6-game playoff run with averages of 25, 9, and 5, legitimate all-star numbers at the most important point of the Milwaukee Bucks' season. Shout out to a Milwaukee lifer that is eased into a smaller role with zero complaint or noise, and is still getting it done when asked to take over. The Bucks don't see a ring in 2021 without Middleton's involvement, and surely don't see much of a first-round series without him this year.